I gotta grind, won't stop, hustle won't quit, shine like no other. I be on some more shit. I got a high price lifestyle, super bad. If I want it, bet I got it. If I don't, bet all I gotta do is go. Get, stay about my business. Ball till I fall, floss until I finish. I here go. Get, stay about my business. I live in killer, stacking million to the ceiling. Every day above ground, all I wanna do is ball. Put my money over, bitch, you put my hustle overall. Louis down to the draw, Louis Vuitton kicks. Got a mad hat, a swagger, twist they stupid dumb shit. With a group of young bitches and they stupid dumb dick. I'm the marathon man, all I do is run shit. A sophisticated convict, superficial, still official, multi-million-dollar shit. Money is the object, hot as shit. Bitch, got a sauna on my arm. Sit through it with no diamond, rich and Millie Run. They just talk about they got it, I'm the upper echelon. No, bitch, much about that action, you can go on with the combo. I done more than you dream back at your dream, you still your dream house. On lean, passing them beans out, with a bag crew, the whole team high. Go on, boy, get seen back. Bro, you know me, you know I be stacking that dough, that's all I see. I-G-O-G-E-T-I-D. Grind won't stop, hustle won't quit, shine like no other. I be on some other shit. I got a high price lifestyle, super bad. If I want it, bet I got it. If I don't, bet all I gotta do is go. Get, stay about my business. Ball till I fall, floss until I finish. I dare go. Get, stay about my business. I live in killer, stacking million to the ceiling. I live life for late night, get this shit paid. When I take flight, I get paid, no sick days. My outfits on switchblade, don't sniff yay, but I blow drone. Bankroll on loco, still ride with that fofo. Don't let my P.O. know. Bad white, if too thick, I'm iced tea, she cocoa. She got another bitch, if face so. No paper trail, no phone call, no emails, no photos. Jet back shot with that fat button, low blow head butts in slow-mo. Hey, purple label, polo and a cool, that's all I do. Man, I strive to roll my denim in them new Margiela shoe. Man, we be cool and we jet parlay. Oh, margarita, Molly, and the strongest pack around. Up and shot they out and now we menage for a hobby. We kick it how we kick it. Know you envy how I'm living. Chick can't resist the pimpin'. Get the million by my business. Bro, you know me, you know I be stacking that dough, that's all I see. I-G-O-G-E-T-I-D. Grind won't stop, hustle won't quit, shine like no other. I be on some other shit. I got a high price lifestyle, super bad. If I want it, bet I got it. If I don't, bet all I gotta do is go. Get, stay about my business. Ball till I fall, floss until I finish. I dare go. Get, stay about my business. I live in killer, stacking million to the ceiling. I dare go. Now dare go. Now dare go. Now dare go.
from then stemmed every color, creed, and nationality alive today. We know the fathers of mankind started their journey from here, but why did they leave? I'm hoping the few survivors they left behind, the San Bushmen, will help me solve this fundamental question. 50,000 years on, I hear their numbers are dwindling fast. Soon they could be gone entirely. I'm arriving not a moment too soon. Hello? How are you? I'm Spencer.
And my two children, they are boys. This is my wife.
Amazing. Do you want to see a picture of my daughter?
Yeah.
This is her in her school uniform. What's her name? Margot.
Margot.
I have to explain to them why I'm here. But how do I begin? For start, what's Bushman for geneticist anyway? I sense this is really going to be tough for a lab rat like me.
In a way, you carry a secret in your blood, and you can think about it like a family tree.
I explained the tree was just like the family that we all belong to. My family line is one of the small fractured branches at the very top, while theirs is
An international team led by the University of New South Wales and the Children's Cancer Institute sequenced the DNA of 4 Kalahari Desert Bushmen and 1 man from the ethnic Bantu group. That man happened to be Archbishop Desmond Tutu. Scientists found the Bushmen and the Bantu are the most genetically diverse people in the world, with more than 1 million genetic variants compared to European DNA.
Europeans represent a very young population group in genetic terms. Europeans have only had around 40,000 years to change. And the Bushmen, for example, in the study, they represent a lineage that's believed to be about 100,000 years old.
About the first Europeans, we've asked him to reconstruct the face of the Wassa skull. So this is Wassa?
This is Wassa. There we are.
To see him or her, we're not quite sure, are we?
No.
Flesh.
No.
Forensic artist Richard Neve has helped the police solve murder cases by reconstructing faces from skulls. In the hope of discovering more about the first Europeans, we've asked him to reconstruct the face of the Wassa skull. So this is Wassa?
This is Wassa.
It's wonderful to see him or her, we're not quite sure, are we?
No.
Fleshed
no.
out.
Touch androgynous, maybe, this one.
It's quite strange, actually, because this doesn't particularly look like a European or African or Asian. It looks sort of almost quite generic, but then I suppose that's what you'd expect from one of the earliest Europeans.
You look at this and you can think to yourself, it could go either way. It's almost as though it's a face in flux. It's got features which could go in any direction. It could become Negroid, it could become Southeast Asian, it could become European. There's the potential for all those different directions, and that's what I find so exciting about it.
Obviously you've made this in clay and that's why it's brown, but
yes,
in fact it's very likely that these earliest of Europeans were quite dark-skinned, much darker skinned than we think of Europeans being today.
Yes.
Because
yes.
at the end of the day, you know, they're only just arriving in Europe. They're coming from much more tropical places.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, we may be looking at something which is actually quite lifelike.
We're not too far from...
No.
No.
I've been really excited to see what this face would end up looking like. And I do feel as though I'm getting much closer to our ancestors. Is our own species, Homo sapiens,
modern humans. Here is a skull of one of our nearest ancient human relatives, Homo heidelbergensis. If we compare it with this modern skull, some things just leap out at you. This heidelbergensis skull has an enormous brow ridge and a swept-back sloping forehead, much steeper in the modern skull. In fact, the whole brain case here is much rounder. Using the skull of the ancient human, experts have reconstructed his face to reveal our flatter-headed, beetle-browed predecessor. In contrast with this reconstruction of a very old but modern human, and I think you'll agree that she looks a lot more like me. But if East Africa is where the first humans were born, there are some big questions to answer. Are we all descended from black Africans? If so, why do most of us look so different?
Talk about, say, the 4 major language families, people who speak the 4 major language families. How far back can we trace that structure? And also, Alison, you mentioned that the fossils, we don't see fossils that look like, you know, modern-day San. Can morphology change so rapidly that we might not even expect them to look the same 10,000, 20,000 years ago? I'll go back.
Yeah, if I could just say something about the fossils. No, ancient humans 15, 20,000 years ago, none of them really look like us. If you do if you put just modern humans, if you put them in a statistical analysis with Homo erectus, okay, they look like us. If you put them in a just modern humans or modern humans and Neanderthals, and you use Upper Paleolithic fossils from Europe and fossils from Africa, such as we have them, and if you then use the modern groups of the world, including the San, none of the fossils fall into those groups, because enough gracilization has happened in the last 10, 15,000 years to really change enough of what our skulls look like. True. I don't know, Chris, but you want to add to that?
Well, I'd just add that, yes, we talked about this earlier, but it's possible that some dental features may go back and traceable, you know, maybe 50,000 years back. But I think if you have the skulls, as you say, of those individuals, they won't look like their modern counterparts. Their teeth may resemble them more greatly. But physically, yeah, everyone 10 or 20,000 years ago didn't look much like their modern counterparts. And that's true of, obviously, Native American skulls that are 10,000 years old. They don't look much like modern Native Americans. Even in Australia, there's big changes.
Yep. Yep. Anybody else want to address Sarah's question?
Yeah,
before we end?
There was the language question. I don't know whether you wanted to get back to the language question.
Chris, how far?